What's up, Yuma? I'm Johnny Porter.
And I'm Victor Calderon.
On today's program, we are going to be joined first by Franky Sandoval. She is the founder of YumaKicks. She's going to be sharing how she started a sneaker resale business at the age of 14. We're going to find out what made her so successful and how she got into the shoe business, as well as Michael Alexander. He is a trainer at B1 Elite Gym. I think the universe is trying to tell me something. It's time to get in shape, and I'm going to ask Michael how to do that, and you might be able to find out how to do that as well. So stay with us for What's Up Yuma Radio, beginning right now on KOFA 94.7 FM.
And streaming online at borderradioaz.org and on the KOFA app. You can also view our show on the Border Radio Facebook page and the KAWC YouTube page. And don't forget, you can reach out to us by email at whatsupyumaradio@gmail.com.
What's Up Yuma is sponsored by High Tanks Brewing Company, serving up scratch-made food, craft beers, and experiences at 2 desert locations in Welton. More at hightanks.com.
Chili from Philly, Nick Papa Giorgio from Yuma.
What's up, Yuma? Welcome back to another episode of What's Up Yuma Radio. I'm Johnny Porter.
And I'm Victor Calderon.
And Victor is going to start off with some news. And I like that we're doing that. I was mentioning that. So
right. So as we said, like, we'll talk about local stuff when there's like a local connection.
Yeah.
Or, bigger news when it's a local connection. So today's date is March 31st. Which has been celebrated as Cesar Chavez's birthday in Arizona and California. But obviously things are a little different this year with the news that's come out, the allegations against him. So what that means is, as I've reported, here in San Luis, the city offices are closed today. They weren't able to make changes before. They met in council last week. But so the city offices are closed, but they're looking to either possibly change the name to Farm Workers Day, or next year maybe change another like holiday, like take another day off basically for the city.
Yeah.
And then, of course, in Arizona, the governor said she will not be like making any formal. She's been, in the past, she's made proclamations like Cesar Chavez Day, whatever. This year she's not.
Yeah,
so.
It makes sense. And then, I'm a social media guy, so I'm on the social media a lot, and I understand the way social media works. And I'm saying that to say this, that council did not meet. That's what you said. Council did not meet.
No, they did meet, but to
be able to change
they
it.
They didn't have it. Yeah, usually they take longer time, like 30 days to make any changes to like holidays.
Yeah. So, and there's a process. And the reason why I'm bringing it up is because it was put up on social media on the San Luis's Facebook page, the government's Facebook page, and they automatically got pushback, and they were called hypocrites in the comments. And this people just kind of speaking out of pocket. They don't know what's going on. That there's a process and stuff, because they called it Cesar Chavez Day on the post, because what else are they going to do? That's what it is, right? And people just don't understand that it takes a process to be able to do stuff like that. And so I'm glad you brought that up, and I just wanted to bring that up and to get their side or the story, or get their backs, because they're just doing part of what it already was, Right. But did I bring it up on the show before that people like Easy Fix just put Julio in front of it?
Julio Chavez?
Yeah, Julio Cesar Chavez.
The boxer?
Yeah, the boxer. Yeah, that's it. Fix it.
That too.
I call it that. But because, a lot of streets got to be renamed and stuff like that.
Buildings, schools. Cisco's done some reporting on the school in San Luis.
Yeah, I saw that.
Change, so.
Yeah, I saw that. But without further ado, we have how do you say it? LaCroix? Is that how you say it? A LaCroix ambassador. But no, she's more than that. She's also the founder of YumaKicks right here in Yuma, Arizona. I'm talking about Franky Sandoval. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you guys for having me today.
I appreciate it. So, I think I reached out to you on Instagram, right? I was seeing some stuff, what you got going on. But then you also know Victor already, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, he's a very close family friend. We've known each other for years, but you're close with my Nina Brenda.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
My wife and I know her mom and her aunt.
Okay, very, very cool. And so right now you're in school in San Diego, is that correct? Or
yes, right now I'm attending the University of San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So.
And so we like to get to know our guests, and I kind of just want some context for it. But we're going to go back to, did you grow up here in Yuma?
I was born and raised in Yuma, Arizona, and then just kind of went back and forth between here and San Diego weekends, family vacations, and then I fell in love with San Diego, so I went to the University of
Yeah,
San Diego.
how can you not, you know?
Right?
Yeah. San Diego's beautiful. If you can afford to live there.
It is the most expensive city to live in the U.S.
Is it really?
It is, yeah, and it's just going up.
Oh, I didn't know it was. I know it's expensive because I have friends that have moved there and they have to have 3 jobs.
Yeah.
So I'm not joking.
Yeah.
Like, say, I know people. It works in the media. Actually, he used to work at KYMA here and moved over there. And he has like 2 jobs now, and his lady has 2 jobs. But I went over there to visit, and it's like, hey, we're gonna go to the beach. It's like, yeah, I don't really get to go to the beach. And I'm like, you live in San Diego. You can't go. You got to hustle and bustle. So
Right.
Are you planning on trying to stay in San Diego? You're going to make that much money to be able to live there?
Honestly, that's the plan.
That's the plan.
That's the plan. That's
Oh.
the plan. I'm aiming for my master's, law school, but I don't know. Coming back to Yuma, it wouldn't hurt.
All right. Yeah, for sure. So YumaKicks, you're selling shoes. So you buy and resell shoes, but it's not like used shoes or anything. You're getting like hard to get shoes or something like that. So shoes that are in demand. Is that kind of correct?
That's kind of it. I do sell pre-owned, and a surprising fact is pre-owned actually sells better than new.
Oh.
Just because the new pairs are more expensive than used. So it's easier just to quick flip used pairs, clean them up, and then
So is it like slightly used or something like that?
it
or?
could be like beat up pairs, but typically those I sell for like $10, $20. It's
Oh,
not like
okay.
crazy or anything. But yeah, and then brand new pairs, I tend to get like the hits on the sneakers app, and then exclusive all-star pairs, stuff like that. Yeah.
So, okay, I wanted to give a little bit more context for that, but let's go back. So when you were young, running around Yuma and traveling to San Diego, were you into shoes? Was that like a big deal?
I think growing up, I've always been into like the sneakers and like the Jordans, and even back then, there was more hype than there is now. So I started back in July of 2020, and I just got one pair of just used pair, like a just really used pair, cleaned it up, flipped it, and then I actually went to the Michael Jordan basketball camp, and I had some Jordans that my team won horse against
Okay.
Michael Jordan. So he gifted our team
Okay.
like some Michael Jordan
So
exclusive.
you played against Michael Jordan?
Our team did. Yeah.
Your team,
Wow.
yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, okay.
And we have a picture.
Oh,
yeah,
wow,
it was
alright.
a whole thing.
You're like, no big deal,
Usher
but-
and his son were there. It was a whole thing.
Of course,
Yeah.
Usher and his son.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
your buddy Usher.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I sold those shoes, and then ever since then, it's just kind of been, picking up, and even right now, it's just sneakers. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's an everyday thing people wear.
So okay. So you're young. How'd you get into Jordans? Is it because you sound like you played basketball? If you're going to beat Michael Jordan
Yeah.
as a team, so
Yeah.
you play basketball at a young age here?
Maybe when I was like 1 year old, I picked up a ball. It's a family thing. So all
Oh,
my
okay.
cousins play basketball, my grandpa, and my grandparents took us to Michael Jordan camp, Kobe Bryant camp up in Santa Barbara. So it's always been a thing growing up. And then there was a Phenom basketball game back in 2020 where I was like recognized by Justin Patney. And so he had the Desert Elite basketball travel team and kind of recruited me to be on that. So I was the only girl on an all boys basketball team for about 2
Oh, you were on
years.
that team?
I was
Oh,
the first girl to be on
Wow.
the Desert Elite. Started
Nice.
that.
Okay,
yeah.
that's very cool. What was
Yeah.
that like?
I think just being a teenager, trying to navigate my own life, and then obviously I already had YumaKicks going on. I think honestly just made me into the person I am today. Like being around guys, going up to Las Vegas, Los Angeles, and playing around these men, it made me like really strong and like brave and resilient, I think. Yeah.
So you're so I've had Justin on a few times. One talking about what he does for the basketball teams, and then also with his clothing brand, Chicano clothing brand. So you know him from the basketball. You get picked up. So how did he find you and say, I need her on the team?
Yeah, so at Yuma Catholic, he hosted this Phenom game for a memorial for Kobe Bryant and his daughter Gigi Bryant.
So he hosted it
Yes.
there. Oh, okay.
Yes, and we did a radio show promoting it, sort of like this, and then he recruited me to be on Desert Elite basketball.
So he saw you play at this thing.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I think he just thought I was good.
Yeah.
I'm hoping he did.
Yeah, yeah, I guess so,
I
right?
guess
Yeah.
so, yeah.
Yeah,
And
he's-
then I ended up going to high school with his sons, and most of the team actually went to Yuma Catholic, which is where I went. And then, yeah, ever since then, though, he's been quite a mentor for me, just because of, like you said, all of his businesses, what he does for Yuma, etc.
Yeah. So, funny thing, how I originally know the family is a shoe connection. I don't know if you knew that. They used to have Kayla Vans back in the day.
I did.
You didn't know that? Yeah. So his dad used to own the van store here in
Okay.
Yuma.
Yeah.
Patney. They used to have, I think it was Kayla's, if
Yeah.
I'm not mistaken, Kayla's Vans. And it used to be, when I remember it, it was right next to where Chili Pepper used to be, right there on Avenue A.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a piece of history with that.
So did you rock the Vans, or is that how you rock the Vans?
So I wore Vans mostly. Vans and
Yeah.
Adidas. Those are the only shoes I've
Okay.
ever really worn. And
Yeah.
sometimes Pumas or what else? Chucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm simple. Like,
Okay.
I never got into, and we're going to get into the whole world of shoes
Yeah.
because it's pretty extensive and incredible. But so obviously, then if you're playing basketball, you need basketball shoes. And Jordan and the people behind that Nike shoe created this whole world, right? This
Yes.
thing that they developed where, okay, you're going to wear these shoes and you're going to be a little like Jordan or something,
Yeah.
right? You're going to sell this product and it's going to make you at least closer to Jordan. And you were into that. Like, that was your thing. Like, you're
was.
playing basketball. Now, question, and I know the answer probably. Did it help you play any better when you put on the Jordans?
I think it gave me a little hype. Like, it made me feel like I was walking on space, like Space Jam.
Yeah.
But I think it just goes beyond Jordan. Like, Nike stretches out into, I think there's about like 30 different versions of LeBron's. 30 different versions, but different colors
Yeah.
and stuff. So that right there, LeBron James has his own thing going. Kobe Bryant,
Yeah.
he just has so many versions. But then he spreads out into like different players. Like Caitlin Clark has her own personalized Kobe Bryants. And it just like Ja Morant, all these players are
And we're going to bring out the Ja Morants
Right.
Bring
after
out
the
some
break.
shoes
Right.
show and tell later.
We're
Yeah.
gonna. These things are pretty spectacular, but
Right. But I think growing up as a kid, you obviously want the best shoes.
Yeah.
And my mom, she did do that for me. She always got me
got
I
you the
always rocked
shoes.
Kobe Bryant's.
Okay.
She recently got me the Kobe Bryant like
Yeah.
GG Memorial Memoriam shoes.
Okay.
But yeah, always just
Yeah.
rocking.
So was Kobe like one of your favorite basketball players?
Yes,
yes.
for sure.
Okay.
Growing up, just always looked up to him and his fidelity of the Mamba mentality. Just, I think Kobe Bryant, even though he's a celebrity and I wasn't close to him, obviously. I think just growing up, just knowing like hard work and resilience and just pushing yourself will always get you to where you want to be. I think that's a strong thing I follow, even throughout like life. It doesn't have to be pertaining to basketball. It goes into YumaKicks as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, like you said, the Mamba mentality is something that he embodied, right? And then I just started a book. I forget the name of it. It's like called Winning, and it was his trainer that trained him, and he had like the whole beginning part was all about Kobe and his mindset and working with him and how special of an individual he was.
Right.
So you saw that and you wanted to adopt some of that in your own life. How do you do that?
I think just by waking up and setting goals and stuff. I'm 20, so I'm still.
I was gonna say, you're
I'm still
young. This is like-
I started YumaKicks when I was 14, so I think first having that mindset to follow is important, and just like my family, like instilling that into me. They have values that they instill into me as well. So growing up with something to look up for and do is just very important.
So then you're 14.
Yeah.
Your mom always hooks you up with the Kobe's. you got the fresh kicks. So how do you decide to say, I'm going to start my own business?
I think, again, it just starts with your family just supporting you. Like, growing up as a single child with just my mom. My mom's a single mother, so
Okay.
growing up with that and just growing up with so much love and support and having my grandparents, my Nina, everyone support me. And I think as a kid, too, I kind of matured quickly due to family stuff and, just being surrounded by the people that I was. And Yuma is a great place to start a business because everyone is so supportive and everyone wants to support small businesses. And again, having like that mentor, Justin, people
yeah.
in these lives helping me, because at 14, I don't really know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone does, but
Yeah.
I think, just having all of these factors play into part, it's really helped me.
Yeah, and I view Yuma the same, right?
Right.
I started off in hip hop. I was a rapper. That was how I got started in all of this. And everybody's like, "Oh, you got to move to make it. You got to move. You got to leave here." And I'm like, to me, that's a blank canvas almost. Like I could start what I want here, and I could thrive here. Instead, how about I do that? Well, it might be a little bit difficult in the beginning because you're plowing new field, right? You're creating something and then having to create a demand, but at least it's not full of competition. And
That's another thing.
Yeah.
I think the most important thing about my business is when I started it, there wasn't anything like this in Yuma.
Yeah.
Like you have to go, it's usually, oh, let's go to El Centro, let's go to Phoenix, San Diego, to the sneaker stores, like back to school, summer, Christmas, we have to go out of town or order them. And so just kind of having this place in Yuma where you can just like, we meet up, you look at the shoes, you try them on, and you get to have the same experience you do at like stores like Foot Locker, other stuff.
Yeah.
So that's what I kind of wanted to provide to the Yuma.
And that's a good thing. Like the ease of doing online is there, right? It's there. But in my case, I just ordered some Vans recently and they came and they weren't what I was picturing.
Right.
Yeah, I'm like, oh no, like I'm kind of, I think
Yeah.
I'm stuck with these now. But it wasn't a good experience. It wasn't what I wanted, but it looked like it. And I thought, and I don't know how to read the details and make sure what leather or this or that, whatever the shoe's made out of. And I get it, and I was like, oh no, this sucks. But having a place where you could go and you can see them, touch them, try them on if you need, that brings an experience to it, correct?
Yes, it does. I for sure, do the whole shipping thing, but to do meetups with people, and even that, not just selling the shoes, but meeting new people every day. It's amazing to connect with these new people, and I always do Friday Night Munchies, the night market that Justin hosts, and I think it's just fun. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun, and we're going to take a quick break. We're going to let you grab these shoes over here, and then we're going to go into what it's been like selling them. And you said meeting with people. That's part of the joy of the experience. And then just how Yuma reacted when you opened at 14. All right?
All right.
All right, we're going to do that right after this. You're listening to What's Up Yuma Radio right here on 94.7 KOFA Border Radio.
K-pop fans, join me for the Comeback Show on K-pop for Border to hear the latest comeback releases from BTS, aespa, EXO, Blackpink, ATEEZ, and more. K-pop for Border airs on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. on Kofa Radio. Stream the show on KAWC's app or website, or follow K-pop for Border on Facebook or Instagram.
You are tuned to 94.7 FM KOFA Border Radio. I'm Cecilia Holland-Braithwaite from the KAWC Newsroom. We expect a warm, cloudy day in Yuma with an afternoon high just above 90 degrees. Winds are out of the west at 5 to 10 miles per hour, but could gust up to 20 miles per hour by evening. Cloudy skies tonight with a low around 70 degrees. Arizona Governor Katie Hobbs will sign legislation repealing the state holiday, which had honored labor leader Cesar Chavez. City council members and the mayor of San Luis are considering renaming March 31st as Farm Workers' Day. Details can be found online at KAWC.org.
The KAWC Student Newsroom is funded by the Local News Initiative at the Community Foundation for Southern Arizona, the Scripps Howard Fund, and by generous local support. Thank you for supporting the next generation of public media. Learn more about the project and hear stories from emerging journalists at kawc.org/student newsroom.
If you're tired of listening to long commercials before finally hearing music, look no further. We've got you covered. Whether you're searching on your radio, trying to find an app to play some tunes, or need background music playing on your computer while finishing up some work, KOFA Border Radio is your non-commercial place for music.
What's up, Yuma? Welcome back to What's Up, Yuma Radio. We are here with Franky from YumaKicks, and we do have the kicks on the table right now. We're going to show it in a minute. But so 14, you open it up, and what was it like, the reception, and people saying, wow, this is finally here, or was it kind of slow going?
I think I was expected a lot of, like, where's the website? What event are you doing? What shoes do you have? And obviously every business owner wants that kind of attention, but I don't think I was certainly ready for it, I guess. But I quickly adapted, got some inventory, and yeah.
So the demand was there.
The demand was there.
And then you just had to get the supply and availability and kind of work those things out, like logistics and who you're going to get what from and what time. And
yeah, just a kind of comparison. I think it was first like Facebook Marketplace, stuff like that. People would reach out to me. Oh, do you want to buy my shoes? Send me pictures. I would offer a price from there. Now I'm buying from all over the place. I think I mostly buy from San Diego as of right now, just because a lot of sneakerheads out there. I buy shoes from LA, honestly everywhere, Texas.
Yeah, okay.
And then obviously people here still know that I have the business, so they sell their shoes to me. Honestly, in Yuma, it's kind of a rotation. I buy their shoes, they sell it back. I buy their shoes, they sell it back.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, and so it's doing good. And you said that there's something different about when you first started and now. Like, explain that to me. You were telling me off air.
I think with just technology and stuff, like, obviously the social media aspect of it, and then also the economics of it.
Yeah.
Back then, it was pretty easy to sell, a Kanye West Yeezy for $800. Now, it's really hard to sell them for just $80.
Yeah.
What?
Yes.
Supply and demand, or
And he actually did this thing. So everyone knows Kanye West was with Adidas.
Yeah.
He had his own line.
The Yeezys or the Yeezys.
They got into a feud, so they broke away, and now he's doing his own thing called Yeezy.
Okay.
Just Yeezy. Slides are going, like, I want to say $40.
Okay.
His shoes are just really low. Yeah.
And then did all the shoes go low? Like, was that like a trickle effect that?
Honestly, it's been a hit or miss. Stuff like typical releases, they tend to stay at retail or even go below retail. And the way you tell is people use apps like StockX or Go, which you could see the sneaker market. And it's kind of sad to see the sneaker market die. So as of right now, the inventory is mostly just used pairs that I can flip for quick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the sneaker culture is huge. I know we were talking off air. Like, for me in high school, like, I collected, well, not collected, but I worked at Foot Locker.
Yeah.
In part for the discount.
You got the discount.
I get some Jordans because that's what I was into. But, like, I know more recently, like, I went to NBA All-Star 2 years ago in San Francisco.
Okay.
I was out there, and there were all these, like, sneaker releases, and there were people lining up for, like, Jordans, or, like, Melo Ball was releasing some, like, Pumas. Yeah. And so, like, anytime there's, like, a sneaker release, people still line up. There are still people.
Yeah,
it might not be your thing, but some people do line up and get in line for those.
For sure. Like, and so, yeah, it's definitely still there. But you were mentioning just maybe the cost is kind of fluctuated a little bit.
Yeah, and I think just, like, that's San Francisco, and we had All-Star Weekend in LA this past last month. People are lining up there, but when I bring these shoes back here, they don't really.
They
sell.
don't really. Okay.
They don't really sell.
So it's
just
there.
different markets, different locations. So yeah.
Okay, so when you're here and you're at Friday Night Munchies, how do you get people to? Do you like, hey, we got shoes here, sneakers here, or is it, do people know because you've been there and you're on social media and you're going to tell people so they meet you, or how does that work?
I guess the perks of being a college student in San Diego is I'm never here. So when I do come back, I have the community to support me and be like, yes, you're back. You're back.
Gotcha.
You wanted shoes. And I don't know. There's a thing that some people don't like their shoes shipped, so they want to see them in person.
Yeah.
So I have people waiting for me to come back to Yuma. They'll message me, are you here? They'll either pull up to my house and get the shoe, or they'll pull up to Friday Night Munchies. But for Friday Night Munchies, I'm always like about like 2 weeks early out. I'm always marketing it, posting videos. I even said that I was going to give out free LaCroix this past Friday Night Munchies.
And we're gonna talk about that too here in a second.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. So you mentioned Jordans. Victor got them.
Yeah.
So I was a Suns fan, so I was Barkley, and so Jordan was the enemy. So I was never a Jordan fan, so I never even was even like cared about his shoes.
Yeah.
I was like, he's the worst. I don't like Jordan. You know, I was Suns. They ruined our game in '93. You know, so yeah, so I never got into it. But Jordan's kind of started the trend, and you're saying that LeBron had his.
Yeah, if you're a Suns fan, Devin Booker.
Devin Booker.
Devin Booker has his shoes.
So yeah, I know.
Yeah, he was out there at All-Star Weekend.
Oh, was he?
Doing his whole release of the book fragments. Yeah.
So I was going to ask you about that because I was I watched basketball, so I know they were talking about the hype with him, the shoe coming out. So how did those do?
I think for the book, he's still making his own name. You know, LeBron is cemented.
Yeah.
And so I think Devin is definitely releasing his versions, and
Yeah.
people are taking it well. He's doing really good.
Did they look good or?
They're more like simplistic sneakers. I don't think his shoes really look like basketball shoes.
Okay.
I think they more look like just a sneaker.
Okay.
But, you know, people have their own.
Yeah,
Yeah.
their own taste.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and talk about taste. We're going to do two
Wait.
things with taste. We're going to taste this LaCroix that you like. You're an ambassador. Explain that, like a college. Tell me again.
Do you want me to hold it up?
Yeah, go ahead. I
So
don't
we
get-
have
yeah.
we have LaCroix.
Yeah.
It's gonna be last semester and this semester. It's gonna be 6 months. So I applied to be a college ambassador for LaCroix, and thankfully they send 2 packages. I make videos. My latest promotion was posting at Friday Night Munchies that you'll get a free LaCroix.
Yeah.
If you show up. Yeah, they feature their videos on their social media, so it's really cool to be out there and get experience in the marketing world.
And it's because you have a marketing background, well, at least school wise, right?
Right. I've been the marketing assistant for now 2 years at the Canal School of Business at University of San Diego. Huge thing. I was recently recognized as Employee of the Year, which is a
Wow,
huge thing.
congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you. So I'm always posting social media for them, running the social media like LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, and then always promoting our events and stuff. Yeah, so I think that gave me a one-up on the LaCroix.
So very cool. Like, and we just found that out by happenstance because Victor said, "You want a water?" And he's
Yeah.
like, "I got a regular water and I have a LaCroix."
Fancy
and,
LaCroix,
and
yeah.
you're like, "I happen to be an ambassador for it," which is very cool to be able to do that and get that experience and be on their social media.
Local celebrity.
Yeah, very very cool. And so that's the one segment of the taste. And now the taste in shoes is
We
what
gotta
I
do
want
the
to
show
talk
and
These
tell.
about.
out. Let's get these out.
Because yeah, you
So
have
we
these.
have-
Hold up to the camera. Yeah, those are
we
those
have
are
the
bomb right there.
John Morant 3 warning label Swarovski crystal basketball shoes. Look at that grip.
Yeah,
So
that is nice.
yeah, and then we have these are called lace locks. They don't come with all shoes.
Okay, lace locks.
But you
all
kind
right.
of just put them
Yeah.
like that.
They're like
Okay.
they're like
Yeah.
grills for the shoes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you're
That's what
watching,
people kept asking. They're like, "Is
oh
this
yeah,
for the
like the
teeth?"
yeah,
And
teeth,
I was
like it looks what it looks like.
don't
Yeah,
You know those rappers like
You
what
could-
Paul
yeah.
Wall or whatever.
You could buy the shoe and do whatever you want with it. I
Okay.
don't know. But yeah.
I don't know if I would wear that. I think I would store that.
So if you're watching, you get to see the shoes. If you're listening on the radio, yeah, Google what are they called?
The John Morant 3 Swarovski warning label crystal shoes.
Yeah, and so they're blinged
So
out, for
long.
lack of
Yeah.
a better, or bedazzled. But I
Yeah.
think there's another word for it. And so are the grips for the shoelaces. So it's a pretty interesting. And like what Cecilia said, like what do they do? You know, she came in like,
Right,
what?
yeah.
They just look good on people, and
Yeah.
they like you say like you know.
And if
they're-
you can see, if Cecilia can go to me, so also his initials or his name.
Yeah.
The Nike
J.
swoosh is like a J and then A.
yeah,
Ja Morant.
yeah.
Plays
I
for
guess if
Memphis.
you want to dunk like John Morant, you could wear them.
I
but-
guess so. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
But typically you wouldn't unless you were very wealthy, right? You wouldn't play basketball in them, correct?
I wouldn't.
No,
Yeah,
you
no.
wouldn't. No, those.
I
would
wouldn't
be-
want to ruin them.
Those are for show, not for.
Yeah.
Or
for
maybe
just-
like would you wear it like at a like a fancy event or a night out or something
For
where you're
sure.
trying to floss a little
I
bit?
want
Or?
to see them in the night. I want to
Yeah.
see like someone rock some jeans with them at
Yeah,
night. See
right.
if the light like reflects on that crystal.
Yeah, like the NBA All Star game or you
Like
know
the
some.
NBA All-Star
Well, yeah, you
fancy
wear it to
events.
something like
Yeah.
that, right?
Yeah.
And then you know what is it? What do the kids call it? Drip or something? Is that
Got-
what it's
you got
called?
the drip.
Yeah, you got
Yeah.
the drip going. And so, real quick, show these other ones that you have here.
So these, we have the Off-White Prestos, and the Off-White is by Virgil Abloh, who has passed away. But these Off-Whites, it's about a $400 shoe. We have his iconic letters. I don't know if you can see that, the letters right here.
Is that his initials?
Yeah, this is
Okay.
his like
Yeah.
Off-White, founded in Oregon, Nike.
Very cool.
And it has like some off-white
He's
stuff
going to
in
zoom
it.
in on
And
them.
Yeah.
For you. Bring them down a little. Yeah, you can see right there. Yeah. Okay.
So if you're watching again on Facebook or
YouTube.
X or YouTube or anything, that you can see them. But if not, you're gonna have to Google them and check them out. And I say taste because, like, to me, like, I wouldn't wear either of those. And my son actually, like, he was telling me the other day, he's like, "Dad, I need to get new shoes."
Yeah.
And then he showed me a picture. I want these shoes, and they're like $160. He was
Right.
at Foot Locker,
Right.
and I was like, "Those are hideous. Like, I don't like those. Don't look good."
It's a
He's
matter
like-
of taste.
But it's a matter of taste, right? And then, like, I'm old, so like, what the heck do I know, right?
I'm going to show
Right.
real quick. I'm just wearing some regular Jordans over here, but yeah, not $400, Swarovski crystal ones.
No,
But yeah.
I think the funny thing is I own YumaKicks, but I'm always just rotating the same 3 sneakers. Like,
Are you?
Yeah.
What do you wear? Just to throw
Just
it out there.
Adidas, just some beat up Nikes, heels. That's
Yeah.
it.
Oh, really?
That's
That's you're good to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, if we're all saying it, I wear Vans and then Red Wings. That's it. Like
Okay.
that's usually it. Vans and Red Wings, and I'm good to go. And I feel I could conquer the day. I can't dunk in them. I can't
Right.
dunk anyway. So
Yeah, as long as you have a sneaker that goes with a lot of
Yeah.
outfits.
But I do have my Adidas that I go when I went jogging this morning, so I got those. But so tell everybody how they can find out more about you on Instagram, and if you do have a website now, or
Still creating that.
Still creating a
that.
website?
Yeah,
Okay.
official. But yeah, YumaKicks on Instagram. And if you find me on Facebook Marketplace, don't send me a bad message on that.
well, okay,
Real quick, I want to ask you. So today is the last day also for Women's History Month.
Okay.
And so you mentioned about being a female in sort of this like male-dominated industry, right? This like sneaker culture. How's that been like for you? You said you have family support, but what's it been like? Working with people.
Growing up with a single mom,
Yeah.
and just being surrounded by my grandma and my Nina. My tata passed away, my uncles passed away. Never really had a father figure, but those women in my life were my father figures. So for being a woman, I think it's just being surrounded by women, just being loved,
strong
and
women, and then
supported.
it gives you an example of something that you could reach for right in your own family.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, okay, one last thing. Are you going to be there at Friday Night Munchies this Friday?
I'm heading back to San Diego, but you guys can always find me on the Instagram.
Okay.
I'm always doing shipping, but I'll be back.
Okay,
I'll
yeah,
be
you'll be back. You'll be back. Yeah. We'll see. Thank you so much for being with us. Really cool what you've done. You're 14 and you're 20 now. You're
Yeah.
still out there doing it.
Yeah.
Very, very cool. And we'll see if Stevie,
We'll see if Stevie comes through. Stevie,
we'll
if you're
see.
watching.
What up, Stevie Dub?
Stevie
Yeah.
Dub at the fair.
Stevie
Yeah,
Dub.
yeah. All right. Thank you so much. And with that, we'll be back. Who we got coming up?
We have Brandon and Michael from B1 Elite Fitness.
All right. We're going to get in shape in the next segment. We're going to do that right after this. You're listening to What's Up Yuma Radio right here on 94.7 KOFA Border Radio.
What's Up Yuma is sponsored by High Tanks Brewing Company, crafted in Welton, inspired by the desert, offering scratch-made food, handcrafted beers, live music, and experiences like farm tours and glamping. Location information, the schedule of events, and details on the range of options to be enjoyed are at hightanks.com.
For KAWC News in Yuma, I'm Victor Calderon. The city of San Luis will observe a holiday today on Cesar Chavez's birthday, despite recent allegations of the late farm worker rights leader abused and raped women. City council members last week discussed a possible vote on whether to rename the day to Farm Workers' Day or to select another holiday later in the year. Typically, the city requires 30 days for such a change to take effect because there was only less than 1 week until March 31st and not all council members were present. The decision was made to keep city offices closed. The council will discuss at a later meeting whether to rename the March 31st holiday next year in honor of farm workers or whether to select another holiday for 2027. City Manager Jenny Torres said the day before Christmas is one possibility. City council members approved a resolution in 2019 adding March 31st as a holiday to honor Chavez. He was born near Yuma and died in San Luis. For KAWC News, I'm Victor Calderon.
From KAWC, this is Siendo Primero. I'm Sajei Bárcenas.
And I'm Melanie Ruiz Lopez. In this episode, we'll be talking about AI, artificial intelligence.
I use AI all the time to help me with difficult questions, coming up with study prompt.
There's a lot of questions that I had, and I was able to use AI for it.
I do let students in that class use it to translate.
a new energy with the same mission.
To give students a voice.
The Fort Yuma Rotary Club hosts Pars Under the Stars, a nighttime golf tournament, April 11th, starting at 4 p.m. at the Desert Hills Par 3 course. Teams will compete from sunset through early evening using glow-in-the-dark gear. Registration includes golf, dinner, and gear. Details at fortyumarotary.org/events.
I'm Public Radio Runner. Join me for Bonus Smiles, the show sharing the stories and playlists that fuel runners. Why? Because the rando cheering you on at a mile 77 aid station is the same kind of person who supports local public radio. Join us every Saturday at 5 a.m. on KOFA at 94.7 FM for stories that soothe and jams that power long runs.
I use KAWC almost on a daily basis in my car. It's the background for chores around my house. And I go to the website and look for stories that are of interest, and I listen to podcasts. I look to the news on NPR because I'm looking for something beyond the headline or a soundbite or a gotcha moment. I really want news that shows me sort of the multiple dimensions of a story, that seeks information from multiple sources and doesn't tell me how to think. It just presents the issues, and I really appreciate that. Being a sustaining member of a service like KAWC takes the mystery out of it for me. So I know that I am supporting every month. I also know that I don't have to remember to sit down and write a check at the end of the year or a budget for a check at the end of the year, right? It's kind of coming out of my account every month, and that makes me feel a little bit like I'm part of the team. I'm Lori Stoft from Arizona Western College, and I'm a proud supporter of KAWC Yuma.
For over 55 years, Border Radio KOFA has been a voice for music and culture in the region. We play indie, soul, funk, world beats, and more, plus local stories and live sessions. Tune in live at 94.7 FM, on demand at borderradioaz.org, or on the KOFA app and discover your next favorite song.
What's up, Yuma? Welcome back to What's Up, Yuma Radio. We are here now joined by
Brandon Cradic and Michael Juarez from B1 Elite Fitness. Thank you for being here this morning.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thank you, guys. And so, Brandon, you're the owner, founder. So is that what the B stands for?
No, actually.
Oh, okay.
I get that all the time.
Yeah,
No.
that's what I would assume, And it's like this branded elite. What?
No, we kind of went from, I had so many people coming to me as clients when I first started, and they're like, I want to look like this, or I want to look like that, or here's a picture of somebody. I was like, you got to be you. You got to be. And then B1 kind of came about, and that's what kind of we went from there.
Oh, so that's you got to be you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then you that kind of stuck with you. You're saying that a lot, and so that went into the name.
Yes, sir.
All right. So how long have you been in the fitness world?
I've, from playing high school sports, and then I went and played college sports up in Tucson. When I finished playing sports, I was studying exercise science at the time, so I've been doing it now over 15 years.
And are you from here in Yuma? Or?
I am. I'm from here.
From here in Yuma.
Yep.
Born and raised?
Wasn't born
here, okay.
But I was raised here. Yeah.
Okay. What schools did you go to?
I went to Kofa High. I was homeschooled, and I went to Kofa High School.
Oh, you went to Kofa. Okay.
Yes,
and then what sports did you play?
I played football primarily, and I ran track in the off season.
Mm-hmm.
And then I played football in Tucson.
So you went to Tucson to play football. So that was your jam, the more the football side of things?
Yeah, just the sports performance world of like how to help people get better in sports was really where it all started. And then I kind of had the opportunity to start working with lifestyle clients and just basically figuring out how to help people get better, be healthier, feel stronger.
And that's in Tucson that you started to go down that road?
Yeah, I did my internships in Tucson and then moved back to Yuma. With my family being here, friends being here, I just felt like I had better connections to be able to get something started. Not really with the idea of owning my own thing. That kind of came later, but at least going down that route.
So then in Tucson, you're there like a scholarship playing football, or
I was on a partial scholarship. I walked on, and then I got a partial scholarship my second year.
Okay, and then did you want to be a football? Did you want to be on a team like NFL, professional?
I think that's every kid's
Everybody.
dream.
I asked the same question, and they tell me that's everyone's dream.
That was for sure the dream. I think after my sophomore year in college, I kind of knew like I'm not going pro. I need to make sure I got a good plan B here.
And
fair enough.
And I hate to ask it in that way, but it's like like, yeah, then I want to be like, so what happened? You know what I mean?
No,
like, it's
yeah.
like, so your sophomore year, you're like, oh, yeah, no,
this is only going to go so far. But I love what sports gave to me in terms of just the passion and competitiveness of figuring out ways to get better, not necessarily to beat somebody, but to just improve your life, and that's kind of
right. And so it's in the same world, right?
Yeah.
It's in that same world, and so it's the same thing with me. I mentioned the last guest. I was a rapper. I started off as a rapper, believe it or not, and I learned the record business, and then now I own a marketing company.
Yep.
So about 30 years old, I realized like, it's not going to happen. You know, it's like, no, not going to happen. So I'm not going to do it. So I turned everything I learned and turned it into a marketing company. But that's what you did with fitness. You went down that road, but you said not originally to own your own business.
No, I mean, I guess I never knew that was a possibility. My dad is a business owner, and so I always kind of saw that was something that could be done. But I saw how much work went into it, and I was like, am I up for that? Do I have what it takes to do that? And I really didn't know, but I had the opportunity to manage a gym for a long time and learn the ins and outs.
What
of
gym?
It. So there was a gym that was owned by Kim Gerard out in the foothills here called LB1 Fitness.
Yep.
And she ran that for a little while, and I started managing that gym for her. And through that process, when she was kind of ready to hang it up and get out of the business, is when she offered to sell the business, and I took over.
Gotcha. So then you wanted just to stay in that world, though, for a little bit, just training and managing? Because, like you said, you saw your dad. And can I ask what business your dad has?
Yeah, my dad runs Cradic Chiropractic. So
So the namesake. Yeah. I was wondering, right? I was like, you hear that a lot, right? I was we got a chiropractor on, I guess. But I looked, and I was like, no, B1, what?
Yeah.
So you saw the work that goes into it, and it never stops, right?
Owning a business, anybody could attest to, is a 24/7, 365 thing, and maybe even beyond that, because you just never quit. And if you do get content and stop trying to grow, somebody else is going to come in and take
Somebody's
over.
going to do it.
Yeah.
And so you get to the point where now she wants to sell her business. She's had enough of it or something, whatever her story is.
Right.
And you get the opportunity or the offer? Like, what did that look like?
Yeah, it was more of an opportunity. She, it wasn't that she didn't love the thing, but she had other businesses that just needed more of her time. And they weren't in Yuma. And so she wanted to step away and just not have to be in charge of the hours that went into it, and that's where I got the opportunity.
So you bought that one first?
Correct.
Okay,
Correct.
And then how long?
When I bought it, I changed the name to B1.
Oh, okay. So you bought it, changed the name.
Yeah.
So what does that purchase look like when you're buying it? Is it you get the members and then you get the equipment? And
so ideally,
because it's a different location, I know that.
Right. Ideally, at that time when I bought the business, it was simply just the assets. There was really no system set up in place. It was me kind of creating everything from scratch into what we have now at B1.
Oh, okay. So you were creating it on the fly then for her?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
so she had a system in place where it was a private personal training gym.
Private.
It was private, and that's exactly what we've kept with what we do now. Is still a private personal training gym. The system that's in place, some of the classes that we offer, some of the things that we've done differently are what we've added over the years. Basically, just learning as we've gone. I didn't go to school for business. My background is exercise science and nutrition. So this is all things that I've just learned, year by year, and what I felt like there was a need for in this community.
So I just want to ask, and don't worry, we're going to get to you too. So
I'm good.
The business.
You're on deck.
Okay. Do you have a mentor in business, or do you ask your dad the questions, or how did that?
My dad has helped a ton. My dad's helped a ton. I don't want to say that I'm the most creative person, but I am a creative person in the fact that that's probably the best part about owning a business is you get to put your own creative spin on what you see a need for, right?
Yeah.
And in the community of Yuma, at least with me coming home, I saw a need or a lack thereof in the sports performance world. And I felt like, man, so many kids maybe wanted what I wanted was someone to help them get ready to go play college ball if that's what they wanted. And that's how I started, was really in that niche.
Okay.
Before going into the other things.
Now, but you do more than that, because you said sports performance and then B1. And then I find out that Victor's a client.
Yes.
And no offense to Victor, he just doesn't seem like he's a high-performing
This is an
sports
elite athlete.
You know what I mean?
I'm toned, Johnny.
Polo says it all.
I didn't say you weren't toned. I just said I don't think you're an elite athlete that's trying to make it somewhere or whatever. But so you've kind of opened it up a little bit to allow Victors in.
There's all levels. I mean, so like we've been talking like, you know, just in the past few months. So I am a client of B1. My wife and I train with Adley, Michael's wife. We'll get to Michael in a second and his story. But so, you know, for me, it was like I wanted to lose weight. So I did strength training. And so just in the past few months, as, you know, also, you know, things like diet, you know, working on my diet, exercise outside, but going to strength training, I've lost 52 pounds.
Yeah. Incredible. I've seen it.
Just a few months. So I feel better. I am able to get through my workouts. And it's just, you know, and it's for all levels, right? Because there's all ages. There's, you know, high school kids training there and younger. So it's, you know, kids through, you know, seniors that go to the gym and you know, it's great.
Yeah. So obviously, it works, right? I've seen your transformation, right? That has been great. And so then you said his wife, Michael's wife, trades you.
Right.
Oh, okay.
So Michael, tell us about yourself. You're from Yuma. I know you went to school here, but tell us how you got into fitness.
I got into fitness in 2012 when I graduated COFA. My first job was at Planet Fitness. I was actually just in the front desk, but when the opportunity came, the trainer left, and they offered me the position. So I went to San Diego State University, took my exam 3 times. I failed it, but I got it. When I got it is when I started training Adley for her first bikini competition for bodybuilding. She did really good. It was really exciting. But it kept going on from there. She also did Olympic weightlifting. So long story short, though, from Planet Fitness, obviously did not stay there. I wanted to become a banker. I thought that I needed all these benefits. I left for maybe 3 years, but then COVID hit and I came back to where I belong, which is training. And at that moment, Adley and I made the decision to share a portfolio of clients because we have different specializations. I specialize in exercise therapy. Ever since I tore my bicep, I see it's really important to control the intensity of your workout. It's not about just going hard every single time. It's about structure. And then Adley specializes in nutrition and exercise. Glute specialist and also exercise with the youth.
So you have your specialties, and then you start to build up your clientele for personal training?
That's correct, yes.
Okay, and then when you came back, did you go right to B1, or was that solo? Or
So that's thank you for asking that. When I was at Planet Fitness, when Brandon came back, he worked a little bit with me at Planet Fitness, and he told me the opportunity that he had, and I told him, hey, that sounds really cool, but I'm going to go to be a banker. And when I left, that's the first guy I called. I was like, hey, remember that one time you offered me that?
Is that offer still good?
So hold on, this is like 3 years later, and you're like, is that job offer still there?
Yeah. I mean, this guy was like he said, he was training, you know, doing things at Planet Fitness, and I saw it from afar, and I just felt like my opportunities were kind of limited there, and that's when I went off and started working for somebody else in the private space, and I just saw like this light bulb went off of what was possible in that realm, especially in Yuma. You know, working or training in a public gym is very challenging. You've got this program that you want to follow, but tons of people using the equipment and the things that you need on your program, and then you gotta wing it to try to do something else. And we thought, man, in a private space, we don't got to worry about that. If we write this, we can stick to it. We don't have distractions. We can follow such a structure. Michael mentioned that word. Structure is so key, and that's what we've really worked to provide now.
Very, very cool. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back and find out how you make that work, though, because if you don't have a flood of people, that means you has to be maybe a little choosy with your clients or something, because it's not free for everybody. They can't just all come in, right? So how do you make that work as a business owner, the side that you weren't too familiar with? We're going to find out how you make the magic work right after this. You're listening to What's Up Yuma Radio right here on 94.7 KOFA Border Radio.
This is folk singer Michael Jonathan. Join us on this radio station this week for Wood Songs from Tucson, Arizona. Classical guitarist Rainy Good, plus all the way from L.A. and signed by Ani DeFranco, Kristen Ford. Both artists, music, and conversation on this week's broadcast of the Wood Songs Old Time Radio Hour.
This evening at 7 p.m. on KOFA Border Radio 94.7 FM. Temperatures will continue to cool through Wednesday, dropping to within a few degrees of normal with humidity levels between 30 to 50%. In Yuma, Parker, and Quartzsite, it's mostly cloudy with an afternoon high near 90 degrees. Winds are out of the west at 5 to 10 miles per hour, but could gust up to 20. Mostly cloudy tonight with a low around 70 degrees.
Today's day sponsor is 1 in 10, honoring Trans Day of Visibility. This day recognizes the contributions, experiences, and resilience of transgender people and affirms the importance of visibility in building understanding and community. The 1 in 10 Yuma satellite offers meetings Mondays for ages 18 to 24 and Tuesdays for ages 14 to 24. Information at 1in10.org.
Bopping to the new beats heard around the world, or relaxing to the tunes of Memory Lane. We are your non-commercial source of music. Run by volunteer hosts, this is KOFA Border Radio, 94.7 FM, 1320 AM, on the KOFA app, or at borderradioaz.org.
What's up, Yuma? Welcome back to What's Up, Yuma Radio. We are here with
Brandon and Michael from B1 Elite Fitness.
And we got to the point where, so not everybody could come to this gym. It's not like one of those gyms. It's personalized. But a gym, I know, that's how they make their money. They don't care if you work out or not, right? As long as you continue to pay that fee, they're making money. I think I still have a gym membership, probably 3 of them, and they're just like making money off of me. They debit my bank account. But so that model seems like an easier model, but you did something different, and tell me what's different about it.
Yeah, so at B1, I mean, the biggest thing is the accountability, right? You're paying for someone to hold you accountable. You have an appointment, you've got someone there waiting on you. Secondly, when you're busy, your mind is the last thing you really want to turn on and go to the gym and try to figure out what you're going to do and how you're going to reach it.
Interesting.
We take care of all that for you.
I don't want to turn on my mind. You sold me right now. That's a great sell right there.
That's what we do. We take care of the thinking for you. People are busy. I mean, this world is busy. So we want people to come there, turn their brain off for a little bit. We're going to take care of all the planning, the thinking. You just got to show up, put the effort in on the workout, but you don't got to plan it or think about it.
So then, what is it typically? So I go in there and what happens?
Okay, we got an hour session. We're going to start with a consultation, kind of figure out what your goals are. You know, what are you here for? Are you here to lose weight? Are you here to gain muscle? Are you here to gain strength? Do you need to be more flexible? Do you got injuries? Where do we start? How do we have an aiming point? Once we have all that, we put you on an in-body scanner, and this is going to kind of give us some measurements and data as to where you're at right now currently. We'll set goals, and then we design a program.
Does it check like your fat percentage and all that stuff?
Body fat percentage. It's going to give us your calorie intake on the day or what you're burning, your muscle, all those things.
All right, so you're on those. You do like this whole intake, and then you kind of structure something around that, your goals?
Yeah, we design a complete program around that. So now every day that you come in, we're following a set program versus just guessing what we should be doing. You've got people like Michael and I that have been in the fitness industry for over 10 years. We know exactly what to do. If you look up online, there is a million things when it comes to fitness and nutrition. It's so hard for people to figure out, what do I do? So we take the guesswork out of it.
Yeah, so that to me speaks value, right? Taking the guesswork out of it. Now, I'm typically, though, like when I go to the gym, I just wear headphones, and I don't want to be bothered. I just go and I kind of do what I've done because somebody showed me this years and years ago. That's what I do. Right. So to me, it seems like it'd be difficult to work with a trainer, but then you said shutting off your brain, then it's like, wait a minute. Okay, I kind of like that part too, because that's what I do. That's why I go to the gym, to shut off my brain and just listen to music and then go do what I got to do without doing that. But you're saying you still get that shut off your brain because
100%.
And are you like, come on, one more, or is it?
If that's what you need,
if that's what you need,
we can provide that.
Did Victor ever need that?
Actually, I trained once with Victor, and it was when he first started. He was a little quiet. From what I hear from Adley now, his serotonin and dopamine kind of hit a little bit better. So that's probably because he's seeing all the success.
So wait a minute. So okay, you mentioned serotonin and dopamine. You're not measuring those things, right? But you kind of see it. You could see a difference in
their attitude, when they walk in, when they're moving, how fast they're recovering.
Right. Because then working out releases endorphins and those things you hear about it, and so it kind of got to the point where it's like it's something with Victor, huh?
Yeah, it's like a snowball effect, right? So Victor, as he saw success, now he's just pushing himself a little bit better. And Adley and I talk about our notes every single time, and she always comes back. It's like, Victor told me to tell Araceli that he did a good job. Make sure you let him know.
I always tell her to report back to my boss, my wife.
Your wife, yeah.
And so, because like at first, we started motivating each other. That's why we got into it. But she's a morning person and I'm an afternoon person. So she goes like she wakes up at 5 and goes like trains with Adley at like 6 from 6 to 7, and I go in from like 4 to 5 in the afternoon. But yeah, it's just when you're there, like no one's like listening to music. You're communicating with your trainer. You're communicating with the other people. You probably know some people in the room, so you're friendly with people. You're motivating other people. Like, hey, push through that set. Or like you applaud each other when you make it through a set. And for me, it's easier to. I found it's easier to get through. Like at first, I was struggling, and it's still not easy. Let me be clear. It's not easy.
Yeah.
But don't take note of that, Mike.
But I'm able to make it through and like survive. Like I'm still pushing myself and panting at the end, but like before I would have been like gassed and like, all right, I'm gassed after like 2 push-ups. Now I can complete the workout.
Yeah. And but you start off where they're at though, right? Like there has to be that where it's like okay. You can't really do 10 push-ups, but like you take the 2 and then you kind of gradually move to the 10.
Everything has progression, right? Everything that we start with, even for squats, right? Some people can't do a squat, so we start maybe sitting on a bench and standing up. Everything has a progression, and that's the goal with anybody. No matter what level you start at, we're going to progress to where we can get you to really build.
You're doing really good right now as a salesman because so you start with a bench. You could actually just
we can start as easy as we.
It's
need
easy.
To.
Oh,
the goal is not to have somebody come in and try to kill them.
No.
I think some people think of personal trainers and they assume
Yeah.
one more, 2. We're not boot camp instructors.
No. Yeah.
We're honestly there to help you get better and improve. And sometimes that's not just pushing heavier weight. That means moving better and ultimately feeling better. And you shouldn't be leaving your workout feeling like, oh yeah, I'm gonna throw up. I did great. No, that doesn't mean you had to go work out.
Yeah.
That just means somebody made you sweat.
Well, yeah, and I've had those ones where I want to throw up, and then that I don't want to do this again. My sisters are going to kill me because they've been trying to get me to go to a boot camp that they're doing, and they're seeing all kind of success with it.
I don't want to take away. There's nothing wrong.
No,
with boot
for sure.
camps.
Yeah. My cousin actually is a personal trainer and owns a gym, so it's like there's no excuse for me, but I'm going to make them still. Yeah, but you said the accountability is part of it, and so you're saying diet, so you're asking them like what they eat that day. Or?
We do check-ins, Mike. You can go with
Yeah,
this
go,
one,
Mike.
but yeah.
Yeah, so Adley and I, Adley's the one who specializes in nutrition. She has the habit, if they are in a nutrition plan with us, every Sunday we're checking in, asking them what they ate, what their journal looks like, and then we make notes to progress after that.
And then you progress what? Like, okay, now cut this out, or what does that look like?
Yeah,
or
so
now add this, or
we like more of the macronutrients, right? Carbs, fats, proteins. We could give you a direct meal plan, eat the same thing every single time, but I personally don't like that, and I've found that not a lot of people like that either. So we like the macro side better.
Yeah.
So we're looking at the numbers more.
So for me, it was just being mindful of what I ate, and obviously, before I ate a lot of fast food, I've cut that back drastically, and it showed. But it's also just being aware of what you're eating, portion size, meal prep. Me and my wife Araceli, we do that more, so we're cooking more during the week, and so so it's just being mindful of sort of that balance of like diet, because they say you can't outrun a bad diet.
No,
right?
you can't. I know it starts in the kitchen. Really, it always does. That's the way to do it. I've done it 100 times, so I know. Like, and it's like, I'm done doing it. I guess it's like time to get the Oreos again, as we found out yesterday. The temptation, the Oreos. But so how long have you been in business?
It's gonna be 10 years in December.
10 years in December.
Yeah.
Very cool. And sounds like you got the business part. You started going. Do you have help with that too? Like, it's not, I know you did, but like inside, did you get like an office manager?
You know what? I've done everything myself.
Everything.
My wife was a teacher for several years, and as we grew to a certain point, I did ask her, hey, we could use the extra help, and she quit teaching and came and worked with us for a while. We got 2 kids now, so she's home with the kids instead. But the business is still growing. I'm blessed to have great team members and people that work with us, like Michael and Adley, a couple of our other employees that just everybody steps up to do their part. But the business is continuing to grow every year, which is we're very blessed.
So growing, there's room for new clients.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. we're never going to stop growing. We're honestly on a path to hopefully get a bigger facility at some point, offer more things. But right now, yeah, we're definitely planning on growing more.
And that's how you grow, right? So if you get more people in, so yeah, supply and demand, and then it's like now time for a new building. Try to take it to the next level.
Little by little. You know, we started with I believe about 1,800 square feet was our gym side. The other side we offered some classes. And just 2 years ago, we tore down the middle and expanded to 4,000 square feet.
Oh,
renovated
wow.
everything.
So I mentioned off air, I know Kristen, so I knew when it was first opened and like how small it was. So I didn't know you expanded.
Yeah, so we tore down the wall that was between each side, and now it's one big, open space. We've got about, I would say, working 3,500 square feet, and it's still now kind of running out of space.
Cool. Very cool. So tell everybody how to find you on Instagram, the socials, and maybe your website if they would like more information.
Yeah, you can follow me at Brandon Cradic Fit. That's on Instagram, or our business page, which is B1 Elite Training. We're located down off Pacific Avenue next to the Red Wing store across from Sam's Club down there.
Very, very cool. Thank you so much for being with us. I
Yeah.
appreciate it. And thank you for helping Victor. He's an inspiration every time he walks in here.
Keep it
And
up,
it's
man.
like,
Keep it up, man.
then I also feel bad. Like, oh, I need to lose weight.
You get there, Johnny.
I'll get there. Thank you guys for this. I really
Thanks
appreciate
for having
it.
us. Thanks for having us.
And with that, What's Up Yuma Radio is a production of KAWC, Colorado River Public Media. We broadcast from the studio in the Matador Activity Center at Arizona Western College in Yuma. We want to thank our engineer, Talon Gonzalez, along with Anthony Ornelas, Juan Garcia, Dave Reek, and Cecilia.
You can find out more about KOFA at borderradioaz.org and on the KOFA app. Stay tuned for KOFA's Midday Music.
And on tomorrow's program, we are going to have Ashley from the Chamber of Commerce. They got something going on, as well as Randy from Foothills Fortuna Liquor.
You can listen to the podcast version of our program and check out past episodes anytime at kawc.org/podcast/What's Up Yuma Radio.
And if you want to be on the show, you got to go to whatsupyuma.biz, click the radio link, and click book. Yeah, you could be on the show as well. So go to whatsupyuma.biz, click the radio link, and click book, and tell your story right here at What's Up Yuma.
What's Up Yuma is sponsored by High Tanks Brewing Company, serving up scratch-made food, craft beers, and experiences at 2 desert locations in Welton. More at hightanks.com.